Some mornings, curiosity stirs before caffeine does. I wanted to compare AWS, Azure, and GCP, their security, their serverless magic, their brave new AI ambitions. But research takes time, and time, as we know, is allergic to patience. So, I did what any lazy genius would do. I gathered my sources, articles, analysis, reviews, and dropped them all into a quiet Google Doc, like seeds waiting to sprout. Then, I whispered to NotebookLM, "Here, read this, and tell me something extraordinary." The screen shimmered. Words rearranged themselves like constellations, and just like that, my AI co-writer was born. Let's see what it created.
So, let's talk about the cloud, because right now, it's at a tipping point. Over the next few minutes, we're going to break down the huge security risks that businesses are facing, the intense competition that's sparking all this innovation, and of course, the rise of AI that's literally changing the game. This is what you need to know about the cloud in 2025.
Yeah, this quote from Orca Security's latest report, it pretty much says it all. We are at a critical turning point. It's not just about getting to the cloud anymore. It's about how you survive once you're there. The stakes have just gotten so much higher.
So what does a turning point actually look like in real numbers? Well, it looks like this. 38% of organizations have basically left their digital front door wide open. We're talking sensitive data, financial records, personal info, just sitting there exposed. It's a pretty shocking oversight.
Now, let's zoom in a little closer. The average single cloud asset, a server, a container, whatever, has 115 vulnerabilities. That's over 100 potential backdoors for attackers on every single piece of your infrastructure. The scale of this problem is it's massive. And that leads us to our third number, 32%. Nearly a third of all cloud assets are what you'd call neglected. This means they're running on old, unsupported operating systems, or they haven't seen a patch in more than 6 months. These things are sitting ducks, just the low-hanging fruit that attackers absolutely love to find.
And this image, it really captures the new reality of cloud security. It's not about building bigger walls anymore. It's about actively hunting for threats in an environment where the risk just never stops. The new way of thinking is, assume you've already been breached, and your job is to find the bad guy before they do any real damage.
Okay, so all of this brings us to this really core idea that explains the struggle for cloud security today. It's called the Defender's Paradox, and it's all about the ridiculously large and ever-expanding attack surface that the cloud creates.
And here's the heart of the problem, right? An attacker just needs to find one tiny crack to get in. But as a defender, you have to be perfect all the time. And get this, 76% of organizations have at least one public-facing asset that lets an attacker move sideways through their network. So one little mistake, one misconfigured server, can spiral into a catastrophic breach of your entire system.
All right, so we've got a handle on the security challenges, which are pretty scary. Let's shift gears and look at the underlying tech where the big cloud giants are really duking it out. And there is no better place to see this fight than on the serverless battleground.
When you look at this table, you can really see the different personalities of the big three. AWS gives you incredible control and deep integration, which is perfect for developers who want to fine-tune every little thing. Azure, with its durable functions, is built for these really complex, long-running processes. And of course, it plugs right into the Microsoft ecosystem. Google, on the other hand, is all about simplicity and speed, getting you from idea to production as fast as possible.
You can really boil it all down to their core philosophy. AWS Lambda is totally code first. You have all the power, but you got to write the code for it. Azure Functions takes more of a hybrid approach, using these bindings to handle the boilerplate stuff for you. And Google Cloud Functions, it's all about that minimalist design for maximum speed.
Okay, so we've talked risk, we've talked rivalries, but the biggest change, the real seismic shift in cloud computing is happening right now. And it is all about artificial intelligence. This isn't just another feature, it's the next evolution of the cloud itself.
The way we need to think about this is huge. We're moving from a world where we use AI as just a tool, something we tell what to do, to a world where AI acts more like a teammate, an autonomous partner that can handle complex goals all on its own. So the fancy term for this is Agentic AI. But what does that really mean? It's about way more than just recognizing patterns.
We're talking about systems that can actually reason, that can use other tools, and that can learn as they go to get a job done. This is a massive leap forward.
And platforms like Amazon's Agent Core are making this a reality. Just imagine an AI agent that doesn't just send you an alert about a security threat. No, it goes in, it patches the vulnerability itself, and then it notifies the right team. Agent Core is the framework for building, deploying, and managing these kinds of agents with the security and oversight that big companies need.
And it's not just an Amazon thing, not at all. Google is weaving AI right into the fabric of its core data services. Imagine using Spanner Graph to sniff out complex fraud rings in an instant, or having Gemini in BigQuery act as your own personal data scientist, prepping and analyzing your data for you. This transformation is happening across the entire industry.
Okay, so let's pull this all together. We've got escalating threats, we've got intense innovation and competition, and we've got this revolutionary AI technology. Which brings us to the most important question. How on earth do you build for success in an environment like this?
And that's the question every CTO, every architect, every developer should be asking themselves, right? When the ground is constantly shifting under your feet, how do you build something that is resilient, secure, and efficient? Something that's actually going to last?
Well, the answer isn't some shiny new technology or a magic bullet. It's about discipline. It's about following a consistent, proven framework of best practices that guide your decisions, no matter what new tool or what new threat comes along. And this right here is the blueprint. These 6 pillars from the AWS well-architected framework are your guide to building systems that are solid and future-proof. And believe me, in the age of AI where systems can act on their own, having a rock-solid foundation in operational excellence, security, and reliability is more critical than ever before.
And so I'll just leave you with this final thought. It's no longer enough to just be in the cloud. The real question you have to ask now is whether your architecture, your very foundation, is truly ready for what's coming next. Is it prepared for the risks, the competition, and the incredible opportunities of the age of AI?
As I watched that video, I felt something almost human. NotebookLM didn't just summarize facts. It built a bridge between logic and imagination. It compared, connected, even wondered. Sure, it missed a few nuances, the quiet truth that security isn't just code but trust, that serverless is not absence, but orchestration. But in its imperfection, it mirrored us. Curious, flawed, and endlessly trying to make sense of complexity, simply. Maybe that's what it means to be a lazy genius. To let curiosity lead, and let technology do the walking. We don't need to control everything. Sometimes, we just need to invite the right tools into our wonder. Because when we do, our laziness becomes design, and our curiosity becomes creation. Stay curious. Stay clever. Be a lazy genius.